Welcome to the Battle of Action Cameras 2024 edition. In this video, I'll talk about 3 of the best action cameras that you can buy right now: the Insta360 Ace Pro, the GoPro Hero 12 and the DJI Osmo Action 4. Alright, at number 3, I have the DJI Osmo Action 4. This is also the cheapest of the bunch, starting at $300 or some 30,000 rupees in India. And if you're under a tight budget and want an action camera that is like the jack of all, this one is a good option for you. Spec-wise, it has a 1x1.3-inch sensor and can shoot footages up to 4K 120 FPS, and it can be immersed in water up to 18 meters. Video quality-wise, in good lighting conditions, the DJI Osmo Action 4's output is decent. Nothing extra, just decent. There aren't a lot of details and sharpness to look for, but if you're not looking for a professional output, this might be good enough. I like the fact that the Osmo Action 4 has the largest field of view among all the others, because of which you can fit a lot in a single frame here, even in the normal mode. During low lighting conditions, you can find its larger 1x1.3-inch sensor capturing enough light to bring out somewhat decent results. Again, it's not as sharp as the Insta360 Ace Pro, which also has the same sensor size, but action cameras generally do not do good in low lighting conditions anyway, so I will not make a big fuss about it. Usability wise, you get a magnetic mount here, which is so much less hassle than a traditional tripod mount, which some of the cameras, GoPro, still uses even in 2024. What helps even more is the dual displays here. This means that you don't have to keep flipping the screen every time you want to preview the front and the back cameras. Trust me, this comes very handy. But the front screen is smaller, so it might not be the most convenient while going around the settings. DJI also provides one of the most user-friendly apps where you can preview your videos, or you can use it to operate the camera hands-free, and you can even edit your videos in the app. I found its audio quality to be good enough too, although it does not cancel out the background noise as effectively, so it might not be the most clear, but DJI does give you the option to add an additional microphone. Lastly, the DJI Osmo Action 4 is also one of the quickest to charge as well, with a support for up to 30-watt fast charging. It has a 1770 mAh battery inside that fills up in about 40 minutes. Next up, we have the GoPro Hero 12, and disclaimer, it is slightly better than the DJI Osmo Action 4, but it is slightly pricier as well. That aside, the main reason why it ranks above the DJI Osmo Action 4 is because of its video quality. While the DJI Osmo Action 4's output generally comes out without proper sharpness and details, the GoPro Hero 12 fixes that problem, and I also found its color reproduction and contrast to be better than the Action 4. Again, we have to keep in mind that the Hero 12 does not have a bigger sensor like the Osmo Action 4, so sometimes it might not be able to gather as much light, but in broad daylight, you will definitely notice GoPro producing superior looking videos. It also has a max resolution of 5.3K compared to just 4K on the Osmo Action 4. However, GoPro has a slightly narrower field of view than the Osmo Action 4, with a native support of just 148 degrees. You can go up to 177 degrees on the Hero 12, but for that you will have to buy a Max Lens Mod 2.0 separately. Anyway, the GoPro Hero 12 also has a dedicated HDR mode, which the other 2 cameras in my list lack, and at the same time it supports 360-degree horizon balancing at 4K 30 FPS mode, which is something that is missing on the other 2. But I do have to mention a few shortcomings of the GoPro Hero 12, which might be a deal breaker for many. First thing is its mounting system. I mean, it's 2024 and this thing still comes with a screw mounting system, which I cannot emphasize enough is such a hassle every time you have to take the camera off. Number 2, even though it does have a second screen, the only thing you can do with it is look at what you're shooting. You cannot interact with it, so in case you have to change a setting or so, you will have to turn the camera around and do it, which does not speak peak convenience. And number 3, its nighttime shooting capability is practically garbage, and not to mention it has one of the most complicated UIs ever, so much so that if you're someone who is using the Hero 12 for the first time, it might be quite tedious for you to find your work around the settings. Once you get used to it, it's not that big of a problem, but for a new user, it might be a bit tedious. The GoPro Hero 12 also charges the slowest at almost 2 hours because it does not have any kind of fast charging support. Its audio quality is natively better than the Osmo Action 4, and it suppresses background noise very well, although it's not as loud. It does not let you connect to an external microphone, but you can connect your AirPods to record audio. Okay everyone, at the number 1 spot we have the Insta360 Ace Pro, which offers the best in almost all of the aspects, be it in video quality or ease of use. I do have to tell you that this one is also the most expensive of the 3, but if you're looking for an all-rounder action camera with very little flaws, this one's it. It's kind of like Insta360 carefully studied the flaws of other action cameras and brought this one to fill the gap. First of all, it can shoot up to 8K 24 FPS and the quality of the videos is just lit. At 8K, the field of view is not the widest, but the sharpness is on point. Even in regular video shot at 4K resolution, the Insta360 Ace Pro has the best color reproduction and dynamic range. It does not have a dedicated HDR mode like the GoPro does, but it has an auto HDR mode which turns on when necessary. It also has a 2x crop sensor which lets you zoom into the footage, and the good thing is that the quality is actually quite nice. It's much better than what you get with the DJI Osmo Action 4 actually. During nighttime too, the Insta360 Ace Pro is able to manage the highlights better than the other two. Its sensor size is actually the same as the Osmo Action 4, but its processing is actually better and it handles lights and shadows really well, especially if you turn on the pure video option. Insta360 says they have used a dedicated AI chip in the camera that helps reduce noise, enhance brightness and improve the dynamic range, and that AI pretty much does the job here. I also found it being able to manage glare better than the Osmo Action 4 or the GoPro Hero 12 for that matter, and the stabilization during nighttime is better on the Ace Pro too. Likewise, one of the things that is the most useful here is this flip screen. It just makes previewing the content so much easier, and because this is a bigger screen than both the Hero 12 and the Action 4, you can go around various photo and video settings very easily. And yes, the Insta360 Ace Pro has a magnetic mount, so mounting and dismounting the camera is very convenient. You don't have to screw and unscrew the camera like on the GoPro. This time, Insta360 has also included some other useful features that actually make the experience better. One of my favorites is the pause recording feature. So what you can do here is that you can record a clip, and if you don't need the footage in between, you can stop recording and then again continue the recording in the same video later. This really helps save a lot of space and eludes the hassle of having multiple unnecessary footages. Another feature is cancel recording, where if you start recording a video, but then if you change your mind, then you can cancel the recording by long pressing the camera button. There is no need to stop recording and deleting it later. Next up is gesture control. So like on a smartphone, the Insta360 Ace Pro lets you record or pause videos hands-free with gestures. You can show your palm to start or stop recording and show peace sign like this to click photos. There's another AI feature here too, which may or may not be useful to everybody. It's called AI Highlights, that will automatically highlight the interesting parts of your videos and gives you the option to explore those highlighted parts to make a single clip. Also, I particularly like this feature in the Insta360 app called AI Wrap that transforms a normal video into an animated video. Even in terms of UI, it's one of the easiest to get used to, so that is great too. The only thing that's a little average here is the battery life. Now don't get me wrong, its battery life is not bad, but both DJI and GoPro have slightly bigger batteries and hence give you a bit better battery endurance. It does support 30-watt fast charging though, with which it takes around 45 minutes to get fully charged. Insta360 Ace Pro's microphones are the most balanced. It also gives you 3 audio modes, wind reduction, stereo mode and direction focus, so you can choose according to your needs. And another thing to note here is that the Insta360 Ace Pro is water resistant up to 10 meters only, which means you cannot dive as deep with it as the DJI Osmo Action 4. You can get a separate dive case which will make it waterproof up to 60 meters, but then again the catch is that you will have to buy it separately. Also, if you're someone who likes color grading your footages, then you will be stuck with just 8-bit flat profile here. In comparison, both the GoPro Hero 12 and the Osmo Action 4 have 10-bit log options, which gives professionals greater flexibility while editing. Alright everybody, that was all for this video. I hope it was useful for you to make your purchase decision. There are a couple of other options like the Insta360 Go 3, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 too, but those are not proper action cameras. They are a mix of vlogging plus action cameras. So if you're more into vlogging, you can have a look into those as well. So with this, we've come to the end of this video, and turns out 80% of our viewers are not subscribed to our channel, so a subscription from you guys would be great. Saying this, I'm Pratima and thank you so much for watching.